So it looks like Christy Rosberg opting a tail start. So that's going to move Nate DeSive up a row, along with Tanner Euling and Shannon Pospisil. As green flag comes out, Joe Rosberg out with the race lead now. Tanner Euling running in second. Here comes Jim Kimmel and Nate DeSive to the inside of Shannon Pospisil, down to the outside of Gage Cook. Gage Cook getting shuffled way to the back of the 96 car as Joe Rosberg leads lap number 1. It is Rosberg, Euling, Kimmel, Pospisil, Nate DeSive way up the track, almost gets shuffled to the back of that pack there. Gage Cook now as Euling pushes through 3 and 4. Gage Cook to the inside of Pospisil now. Here comes Nate DeSive once again. Euling gets pushed up into the marbles. Now DeSive to the inside, going to try to split it between the 5018 and the 96 car. It is going to be Joe Rosberg out with the race lead. Jim Kimmel in second. Shannon Pospisil, Gage Cook, Nate DeSive, Tanner Euling, and Chrissy Rosberg at the back of the pack. As Joe Rosberg clicks off another lap, it is going to be Jim Kimmel running in that second place spot. But right behind him, side by side, Shannon Pospisil and Gage Cook in the double odd butt shot and the 96 car. Christy Rosberg goes a lap down from Joe Rosberg through turns 3 and 4. Cars to the outside of the lap car of Christy in the 3K. Still a little bit of a heavy, slimy track for these skinny, tired hobby stocks. As Joe Rosberg rim rides around the bottom side of the raceway. As Jim Kimmel slides up the track, here comes Shannon Pospisil trying to capitalize. Cannot get it done off of 4. Cook to the outside of the 00 Pospisil. Nate DeSive running in that 5th position, then Tanner Euling. White flag comes out one more time around for Joe Rosberg out in the front. As it's Rosberg, Kimmel, Cook, Pospisil, DeSive, Euling, and Rosberg coming through 3 and 4 for the final time in this heat race. It's going to be Joe Rosberg taking home the heat race win. Jim Kimmel in second, Gage Cook in third. Shannon Pospisil in fourth, Nate DeSive in fifth. Starting 7th on the field inside of row number 4, that's going to be the Shadow, the 52 car, Jason Wilkinson. As they come off of turn number 4, green flag is out, and we are underway with heat race number 2 here in your IMCA Wild Things Hobby Stocks. Lowell Jansen out with the race lead, currently in the 4X car. Wyatt Lehman to the backside of the 4X in the 6 car. Then it's going to be Jason Wilkinson now side by side with Stephanie Reynolds. Now Wyatt Lehman to the inside of Lowell Jansen into turn 3 and 4. Wilkinson still side by side with Reynolds, then Johnson, Arduzer, and Anderson at the back of the pack in the 15M. Wyatt Lehman with the race lead now. Jason Wilkinson side by side with Lowell Jansen. As Stephanie Reynolds currently holds that 4th and final transfer spot into tonight's A main. It's Lehman, Wilkinson, Jansen, and Reynolds, your top 4 currently. Back behind them, Arduzer to the inside of Johnson. Jansen and Reynolds still battling for that 3rd and 4th place spot as they come into turn 3. Reynolds on the low side. Jansen through the middle now. Car pushes ever so slightly. Gives Stephanie Reynolds 3rd off turn number 4. Wyatt Lehman in the 6 cars trying to outrun a 52 car. Shadow stalking Jason Wilkinson. Puff of smoke out of the 52 car into turn number 3. As Wyatt Lehman's going to click off another lap. Still some smoke out of the back of the 52 car as he gets to the left rear quarter panel of the 6 off turn number 2. Now into turn 3 as Lowell Jansen goes around in turns 1 and 2. He's going to keep it going and now come to the stop at the bottom of turn number 2 in the infield. Not quite enough into the infield as caution flag's going to come out. So it is going to be a restart once again. Wyatt Lehman now as Jason Wilkinson crosses over now to the inside of the 6 car. Jason Wilkinson, a little bit of rubbing down the backstretch as smoke still coming out of the 52 machine. With a white flag out one more time around. Wilkinson trying to pull side by side with Lehman into turn number 3. Lehman through the bottom now pushes through the center. Wilkinson trying to get a better run, cannot do so. It's going to be Lehman, Wilkinson, Reynolds, and R. Doozer moving on to tonight's A feature. Trent Johnson and Max Anderson going to have to come through a B feature. Jason Wilkinson is going to be your season's point champion, though, here in the hobby stock division in the 52 car. So as they come into turn 3 and 4. Final heat race tonight for your IMCA hobby stock division. Green flag is out and we're underway. Laughley not so quick on the start as Parker Volbrick gets a great jump off turn number 4 in the 12X car. He's going to be the race leader. Then it's going to be Anthony Nelson, Lance Milkey. As Anthony Nelson to the inside of the 12X, can't quite make it stick. Lance Milkey up on the top side. Top shelf racing for the 7 cars. He gets by the 5A of Anthony Nelson. Travis Coover up in there as well in that 4th and final transfer spot. And then it's Laughley and Nate Buck. Lance Milkey running the top side. He's found something upstairs that's working out for him to the outside of Parker Volbrick now. Off turn number 2, down the backstretch into turn 3. Lance Milkey with a slide advantage into 3, slides up the racetrack. Volbrick to the bottom side, but give Lance Milkey the momentum in the race lead off turn number 4. It's going to be Milkey, Volbrick, Nelson, and Coover, your top 4, currently transferring into tonight's A main. Nate Buck sitting back in that 5th place spot in the 56 car, and Cody Laughley in the 99C running at the back of the pack. Almost side by side for that 2nd place spot between Volbrick and Nelson. Anthony Nelson trying to get a run off of 2 to the outside of Parker Volbrick now. Nelson pushed up into the marbles just a little bit ever so slightly. But coming off turn number 4, he's going to pull side by side with Volbrick. Now gets a better run down through turn 1 and 2. Nelson moves up to the 2nd spot. Parker Volbrick shuffled back to that 3rd place spot. Coover still sitting in 4th. 2 laps to go this time by for Lance Milkey, your race leader in car number 7. It's going to be Milkey, Nelson, Volbrick, Coover, your top 4, Nate Buck trying to get to that top 4 to transfer into tonight's A main without having to come through a B feature. Off of turn number 4, one more time around for Lance Milkey in the 7 car. Milkey running a great race on the top side, finding the moisture and the momentum to carry him around to the front. Nelson tiptoes back behind him in the 5A car. Coming off turn number 4, it's going to be Lance Milkey in the 7 car. Anthony Nelson in 2nd. Parker Volbrick 3rd. Travis Coover 4th. Nate Buck in 5th. And Cody Laughley at the back of the pack. And to the outside, the number 19, Trent Johnson. Inside row number 2, driving the number 56 car. That is Nate Buck. And to the outside, the 58T, Tanner Euling. Inside of row number 3, driving the 15M, that is Max Anderson. And to the outside, the 99C, Cody Lawfrey. Inside of your 4th and final row, driving 3K, that is Chrissy Rosberg. Into the outside, the 4X, Lowell Jansen. As they come off of turn number 4, Dearest Mother, the green flag is in the air. Nate DeSivey taking off of turn number 4 with the race lead now in a turn 1 and 2 in the 31K. Trent Johnson up on the top side of the racetrack. Running in second, Nate Buck in the 56 car now. Looks like a little bit of last week. Nate DeSivey out in front. Nate Buck running in second. Here comes Tanner Euling to the inside of Johnson now. Top 4 transfer to tonight's A main as your top 4 breaks away from the rest of the field. Johnson running on the top side, trying to find the momentum. It is Nate DeSivey and Nate Buck on the low side, riding along the berm there in the 31K and 56 car. As Cody Lawfrey in the 99C goes around, he's going to keep it going. Out in front, though, battle for the race lead now. Trent Johnson off turn 4 with a better run that time by. He's going to have the race lead now going into 1. Johnson, DeSivey, Buck, and Euling, your top 4 out on the racetrack at the moment as Cody Lawfrey is going to pull into the infield in the 99C car. It is going to be Johnson, DeSivey, Buck, and Euling, your top 4 currently. As they come into turns 3 and 4, Johnson up on that high side. Buck changes his line to the high side as well. Nate DeSivey running middle to high line that time by in 3 and 4. Now dives back down to the bottom through the middle of 1 and 2. Buck sitting in 3rd, Euling in 4th, your top 4. Then Lowell Jansen, Max Anderson, and Chrissy Rosberg out on the track right now. Johnson still with the race lead in turns 1 and 2 in the 19 car. 6 laps to go for your race leader, Trent Johnson in the 19. Nate DeSivey coming under attack still ever so slightly from the 56 car on Nate Buck. Chrissy Rosberg about to go a lap down in the 3K machine. Nate DeSivey gets around her. Here comes Nate Buck as well. Gonna put the 3K a lap down. Tanner Euling, Lowell Jansen making up some ground in the 4X machine. As maybe he can transfer to tonight's A main. But it is still Trent Johnson out in front, hammer around on top of the raceway now here for your top 5, 6, 7 cars. Single file around the raceway here in your Hobby Stock B feature. Hammer down around the top. Nate Buck trying to get to the inside of Nate DeSivey with 2 laps to go. Trent Johnson out in front in the 19 car. Then Nate DeSivey, Nate Buck, Tanner Euling. Your top 4. White flag comes out one more time around. No change in your top 4 as your top 4 transfers to tonight's A main as they come through 3 and 4. Going to tonight's A main is going to be Trent Johnson, then Nate DeSivey, Nate Buck, and Tanner Euling. Lowell Jansen comes home in 5th, Max Anderson in 6th, Chrissy Rosberg and Cody Lawfrey rounding out the field. So we're going to try that again here. Mike did not like that start. Being told over the receiver, side by side, nose to tail. No one jumps the start. Nobody goes until the green flag flies. As Nate says over the receiver, nobody getting out of line here Mike Green in hand. Green flag comes out. That's a better start here tonight for your Wild Things IMCA Hobby Stock A feature. Joe Rosberg with the race lead, side by side for second, 3 wide for that 4th, 5th place, 6th place spot. Out on the racetrack, Anthony Nelson, Gage Cook, and Stephanie Reynolds, a pair of 96 cars in a 5A, going at it for that 4th, 5th, and 6th place spots. Out in front, though, it's Joe Rosberg in the 3J. Rosberg, then Volbrick, Stephanie Reynolds on the outside, carrying the momentum, slides up the track, though, trying to get to the outside of Jim Kimmel. She's going to have 4th at the line. Gage Cook running in 5th in a 96 car. Joe Rosberg all out in front. Stephanie Reynolds, power move off turn number 2, give her 2nd. Stephanie Reynolds in the 96R. Power move up to that 2nd place spot now. Now tries to get to the back bumper as we've got 3 wide off turn number 2 for that 3rd place spot. Mark Arduzer shot through the middle. As Stephanie Reynolds off turn 4, she's going to be the new race leader. Stephanie Reynolds from the 4th place starting spot now out to the race lead. 3 wide back behind them. Travis Coover off the pace in the 7-Eleven car, going to bring the caution out as Stephanie Reynolds clicked off another lap. Stephanie Reynolds' power move got up to the top spot in the 96R machine. Flat left front on the 7-Eleven car of Travis Coover. Could tonight be the night she takes home the top spot here championship night? As they come through 3 and 4. Mike has the green in hand. Green comes out and we're back underway. Stephanie Reynolds leads the field into turns 1 and 2 in the 96R. Gage Cook up to that 2nd place spot now in the 96 car. Joe Rosberg down on the bottom side. As Stephanie Reynolds leads another lap. Reynolds, Cook, 2 by 2 by 2 back behind them. As up into the top 5 now is Mark Arduzer, Parker Volbricht, and Joe Rosberg, your current top 5. Gage Cook running 2nd, Stephanie Reynolds out in front. Smoke coming out of the back of the 52 car of Jason Wilkinson. A little heavier that time on the 52 car, but still making his way through the field as we've got him almost 4 deep as Nate DeSivey goes around. Nate DeSivey goes around at the back of the pack, as well as the 56 car of Nate Buck and the 19 of Trent Johnson. Jason Wilkinson in the 52 car is going to be your points champion here in your hobby stock class. Here tonight at Off-Road Speedway. Stephanie Reynolds, your race leader, as they come off of turn number 4. Great start by the 96R car. Stephanie Reynolds shot out of a cannon on the restart. Now going to get the better advantage coming off turn number 2 into turn number 3. Reynolds with the race lead. Gage Cook right behind them. As we got 3 wide off turn number 4, deep in the field between Joe Rosberg, Shannon Pospisil, and Travis Coover. Halfway down, halfway to go here in your Hobby Stock A feature. Stephanie Reynolds with the race lead. Gage Cook sitting in 2nd. Mark Arduzer in that 4th place spot. Anthony Nelson up to 4th now. Arduzer up to 3rd. Gage Cook to the inside. But Stephanie Reynolds trying to find some momentum on the bottom as Trent Johnson goes around and almost goes over. Looks like he might have broken an axle in turn number 3 and 4. Caution comes out and rescue crews on the way. So as they come into 3 and 4, Stephanie Reynolds still with the race lead. Gage Cook, Mark Arduzer, Wyatt Lehman, Anthony Nelson, your top 5. As someone might have jumped, and yep, caution flag's going to come out. They're going to call that one back, re-rack, restack, and try it again. Gonna be coming to green again, this time by Stephanie Reynolds. Leads the field once again. Off of turn number 4. Green flag is back out and we're back underway. Little bit of rubbing is racing going on deeper in the field. Stephanie Reynolds, another great restart. Anthony Nelson way up the track, flat right front tire on the 5A car. Jason Wilkinson off the pace as well, as a caution flag is going to come out once again. Jason Wilkinson, the 52 car, off the pace ever so slightly. So that's what that blinking light is on the 56 car of Nate Buck. So single file restarts now. As they come off turn number 4, green flag is back out. Stephanie Reynolds back to the race lead as she gets into the wall in turns 1 and 2. As they come back to green flag, Gage Cook now with your race lead in the 96 car. Mark Arduzer running in second. Wyatt Lehman, Lance Milkey, and then it's going to be Shannon Pospisil, your top 5. Out on the racetrack right now. Gage Cook with the race lead into turn 3 and 4. Wyatt Lehman off the power, going around is a 12X of Parker Volbricht. Wyatt Lehman in the 6 car, trying to get it to the pits in the 6 car. He will do so. We're going to stay green. Gage Cook 2 laps to go as Anthony Nelson pulls off the racetrack in the 5A car. Gage Cook, Mark Arduzer, Lance Milkey, Shannon Pospisil, Travis Coover. Your top 5 out on the racetrack right now. White flag flies one more time around for Gage Cook. Gage Cook in the 96R inherited the race lead from Stephanie Reynolds. Now to turns 3 and 4. He's going to see the checker this time by Gage Cook. Your A feature winner, Mark Arduzer in second. Lance Milkey third, Shannon Pospisil fourth, and Travis Coover your top 5. Great run by Travis Coover in the 7-Eleven car. Started 8th and finished 5th after getting into a nasty wreck last week. got the car all fixed up. And now places a top 5 tonight.